Is our gene cultural evolution going to be determined by physical reality or determined by code? Today we're going up Mount Cougal. It's about 8.4 kilometers return trip out and back, and it's about 550 meters elevation. And we follow the Queensland New South Wales border fence. Keep it to the left the whole way and we should be right. It's a beautiful day, it's warm, but it's a bit rainy. It's supposed to clear soon. It should keep me nice and cool. Should be good. We're gonna think and talk and walk. With the kookaburras. We're gonna go on a journey through this place, the Mount Cougal track to the summit of Mount Cougal. And then come back down. We're gonna walk and talk our way through ideas, through some intellectual terrain and some diverse ecological terrain as well, including all of this sugarcane. And we're going to talk about our human, our Homo sapien as human animal relationship with the physical world, with physical places like this, and by contrast, our human-animal relationship with the virtual world, with the simulated world, the world that, for the first time in history, technology has put us in a moment where we need to contemplate and reflect. Every step taken here is both a memory and a creation of this place. Through me walking through it on this tread with my footsteps, through me uttering speech and hearing my voice, through me retaining or not retaining sweat and leaving sweat behind. What I'm saying isn't just symbolic, it's biological. It's what is known as this place shaping me through gene cultural evolution. Gene cultural evolution is a concept that explains how human genetic development, cultural development, and place influence and interact with each other, shape each other over time. It suggests that culture are learned beliefs, behaviors, and habits, and our genes, and the genes of the biology and ecosystems and the cells around us are not independent of each other, but they're interlinked in a feedback loop, co-evolving with each other, where each affects the evolution of the other. Indigenous cultures across the globe have always known this, that we are genetically bound up in place, meaning our bodies are genetically bound up in the places we and our ancestors call home. It's an idea that neuroscientists are also able to observe now as well. Thing is, if this occurs in longer amount of times in evolutionary scale, it must occur in shorter amounts of time too. Whether that's out here or in a boardroom or in an office, at a school, in a factory, we are genetically bound with place. In any of those settings, place designs us while we design back on it through what is known as gene cultural evolution. Nice to see blue sky. This has been the case for humans for the last 2.5 million years, and the case for Homo sapiens for the last at least 300,000 years. And today, just in the last 20 years or so, rapid technological advancement on unprecedented scales is now dramatically reshaping, challenging, shifting our gene cultural evolution with physical place. Technological advancements in the shape of computational code, algorithms, artificial intelligence, rapidly moving towards general artificial intelligence, brings us to a point in history like never before, where the ability of that computational code, those algorithms, to define and reshape systems and patterns and experience of what it means to be in virtual worlds, and our seduction or repression in relation to those worlds. Virtual realms where gene cultural evolution is determined by algorithms, and our human experience in those virtual realms is a story of us co-evolving with simulated environments dictated by algorithms instead of the real biosphere out here. And as many philosophers, historians, sociologists, ethicists, and many others have been warning us for at least the last 20 years, this is putting us, meaning us Homo sapiens, at risk of becoming something different, something post-Homo sapien, something post-human, something digitally human, digitally integrated. There are many advocates for this moment, but there are many others giving us stark warnings too. So, it seems to me we're at a crossroads. Us, Homo sapiens, is our gene cultural evolution going to be determined by physical reality, physical place, or determined by code. And if an evolution by code, what worlds will algorithms curate for us? For what reasons? Will algorithms design futures for us that encourage us in simulated environments to also sustain our bond with physical places? Or will it reconfigure us to be obsessed with digital simulations of place, where we leave the real biosphere behind? And if algorithms do nudge us towards simulated worlds, what happens to the biosphere out here? What happens to the symbiotic relationship we have with the biosphere? Some of which really depends on us to care for, to protect. So ecological degradation and destruction, land clearing, resource harvesting doesn't continue on. If we're in the virtual worlds, who's out here? If we are always in there, satisfied with our simulated experience and existence, what do we care if environmental degradation continues out here? Ultimately, and this is if we are keen to remain biophysical humans, we need to find ways for algorithms and digital technologies to self-regulate as a system in our favour that foster bridges between us and these physical places, rather than fostering barriers that see us drifting further away from here and closer into their simulated environments. Perhaps the simplest thing we can do right now is remember to walk, talk, listen. Listen in the real world. To root ourselves deeply in place, right here, right now. Rather than merely observing it through a screen. We're at the top. for watching. Feel free to like or subscribe.